Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike here, bringing you another Pokemon TCGO match. I had this match quite a few weeks ago, so I apologize if I don't quite remember what happens. I know this is right after the tin codes came out because I finally was able to get Rayquazas. I have not pulled any in like 200 or more Dragon's Exalted booster packs. Have not pulled a single Rayquaza, so I had to resort to getting the ones from the tins. You will notice that I did pull a shiny Rayquaza though, so that's cool. And it's also amazing in this deck. I definitely need another one, but I'll just wait till the Dragon Vault codes are available online and pick up my second one there. No need to get a second shiny one, probably, so... Anyhow, I'm playing Rayquaza Eels, and my opponent leads a lone Stunfisk, so I'm not sure what he's playing at this point, but it is going to turn out to be a Stunfisk Empoleon deck, which I like Stunfisk in Empoleon quite a bit, actually. It gives you something to do turn 1, which is huge. It's not as expensive as Terrakion. It's just the damage output's kind of disappointing later in the game, but... It's a really good starter for the deck, which is something it doesn't actually have. I don't have a supporter in my hand. I don't know if I end myself into this hand, or if I got end into it, or if I just didn't draw one. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't have a supporter, which that's this format. So I can't do much, but just go for some Dragon Pulses, and then all my damage gets erased. So... not off to a fantastic start. So here, let's see. Tynamo is going to get catchered up and taken out with a Mud Slap. I would assume he'd probably put the other damage on the Electric. That means if he gets another catcher, Electric will die to a Rumble. So I'm going to go ahead and Super Rod in the Tynamo, and then a Fire Energy and other thing. The Electric that I had to discard with Dragon Pulse, and just do that again because that's all I can do. So finally someone gets a supporter. He ends us both into a bigger hand. I guess he didn't have a whole lot to do either, so we probably did need to do that. Normally when you notice your opponent is not doing much of anything, you don't want to play an N, but he didn't have anything there either, and he actually hits a catcher and is able to take out my other Electric. So I'm down 2 prizes. Stunfisk is just wreaking havoc on my board. And if I can't get Electrics into play, I'm not going to win this game. So here, I just catcher up the other Stunfisk to stall. I probably should have gone for the Prinplup, but then if he evolves it, it's just going to start attacking me. So I figured this is probably the best thing to try and stall. And... I get Fire Energy. I could attach that to my regular Rayquaza. Yeah. And that way, if I can get this Eel into play next turn, I can actually start to attack, which would be good. I can actually start to do more damage than 40 and stop discarding my cards. So he needs a switch and a catcher to take out my Tynamo, and he's already played 2 catchers, so probably not gonna be able to get that. He could, you never know, but it's gonna be pretty tricky for him to try and kill this Tynamo as well. So let's see if he's able to do anything here. He still doesn't have an Empoleon, so that's good. If he had gotten the Empoleon on turn 2, I think I just probably would have lost. Goes for the N again, puts himself down to 4, and actually gives me an amazing hand. So I don't mind that at all. We'll have to see if I use that Juniper next turn or not, because I'd like to actually be able to attach both of those energies. I'd want to put the Fire onto the benched Rayquaza and then attach the Lightning to the active one, but I might go for the Juniper and just get rid of the Fire anyhow, since I figure I can probably draw into some more. And yeah, he doesn't have the switch, so he's stuck where he is. He doesn't get the Empoleon either, so now I can... hopefully start to mount some kind of comeback. Looks like I am going to go for the switch into the the Rayquaza EX, which is fine. I think I Dragon Pulse this thing last turn, so Dragon Burst for 1 energy will knock it out. That's actually a really good play on my part that I didn't notice now, but I'm glad I saw in the game. I can Ultra Ball here too, get another Lightning into the discard, potentially, yes, and probably grab another Dynamo. Yep. You'll see I did have a Zekrom in here, just as kind of a placeholder until I can get another regular Rayquaza. He does okay. Zekrom's just really good. So, gonna go ahead and Eviolite the active Rayquaza because I can, and then Dragon Burst, take him down, and finally draw my first prize. But I have stabilized a bit. At least I have 1 electric that's going to be safe for a turn or two, since he doesn't have any damage on him. I don't. Let's see, how many? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's. It could get killed if he gets Empoleon out this turn and gets a catcher, but it's relatively safe. He gets another Tool Scrapper, which is fine. Eviolite is not really that important in this matchup. I guess it's nice for blocking damage from Empoleon to push him to maybe a 3-hit KO, but it's not a huge deal like I guess it would be with Darkrai or something. So I am going to have to take an attack command this turn. There's the catcher, so if he has another basic, he is going to be able to take me out, but it looks like he doesn't. He actually just goes for the Rumble. Which is fine. I have a Switch. I play lots of Switch. You have to in Electric. There's just no way to get around not playing it. And so I'm going to be fine. This Electric, like I said, is going to live for this turn at least, and I'll hopefully have him ready for next turn. He could get catchered, I guess, or even Stunfisk could take me out with another Mud Bomb if he has another one, but I'm finally starting to get some energy on the board, and I'm actually going to just attack with this regular Rayquaza for as long as I can. It's only going to give up 1 prize when it goes down, and it's a good card. I mean, Dragon Pulse is nice because it attacks for 1 energy, but whatever his second attack is, Tear Through or something like that, is really good as well. It 2-hits anything, because it does go through a Violite. Shred? Maybe it's Shred, I think, because it's the same one that Giratina has. But yeah, it goes through a Violite. It 2-hit KOs anything. He does have 120 hit points, so he's pretty hard to one-shot. It's actually not going to be possible for my opponent because I didn't fill my bench, so he's maxed out at 110 unless he plays plus power. And it only gives up 1 prize, so I'm going to do as much damage as I can with it, and then go into the Rayquaza EX only when I have to. But here I get Mud Bombed again. My 3rd Electric goes down, so I'm really having a hard time keeping them in play, which is bad for this deck. I mean, especially for the Rayquaza Eels version, because you need multiple Eels in play to power up these Rayquazas enough to one-shot things. So I go for the catcher here. I definitely want to take out the Empoleon. Not only is it going to take out his strongest attacker, it's going to take out his draw support as well. And then I play the N, so I put him at 3 cards and hopefully eliminate his ability to draw more. I am lucky enough to get a Juniper off of my 4 cards, so that's going to be good for me. And then I just Dragon Blast him for 180, take out the Empoleon, and hopefully swing this match around back into my favor. So I'm looking really good right now, just because he doesn't have an Empoleon. Stunfisk is a little worrisome, but it's not that big a deal. He's played 3 catchers, so the chances of him getting his 4th off of those 2 cards is not very high, and it turns out he doesn't. He just goes for the Rumble. He's going to try and lock me in place, which again is really annoying, but I do have the Switch, so I'll be able to play that, get out of here, and probably attack with something else. I can only have one Dynamotor, so I'm just going to opt to Dynamotor onto the regular Rayquaza. I can't quite take out the Stunfisk. It's got 100 hit points, and I can only do 90 damage. I take a look in my deck just to see what's left. I've got a few energy and that Zekrom. Not a whole lot of stuff left in there for me. And I think that's why I decided not to play this Juniper. My deck is really low. There's not anything I particularly need out of it, so I decided it's just best to hang on to it and save it for later if I need it, or maybe just to not play it so I don't deck myself out. I still need to take 3 prizes. But yeah, if he doesn't get an Empoleon this turn, he's pretty much done. And he doesn't. The only thing he can do is Rumble. That's fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and Dynamotor onto my Rayquaza, and then Shred for 90, take him out. So definitely the MVP of this match for me was Shiny Rayquaza. Rayquaza EX did have that one big KO against Empoleon, but it's really been the Shiny Rayquaza that's been keeping me in the game. Despite the relentless Stunfisk assault from my opponent. So now it's all up to Piplup. Yeah, even if he evolves into Primplup, it's not going to save him. He needs an Empoleon. That's the only way for him to survive, and even if he gets it, it's just going to die real fast. So he does get the Empoleon this turn, which is good. If he gets an energy, I think he'll be able to kill me. I'm not sure, but the Diving Drill nets him a Juniper, so he's gonna get some cards here and maybe be able to put up a bit of a fight. Definitely pulled himself out of a really bad spot. Got pretty lucky to do so. So yeah, I have 60 hit points left, and he gets enough basics to the point where attack command is going to be enough to take me out. But it looks like he didn't get any energy, so that's definitely too bad for him. Yeah, let's see. Hopefully I don't play that Dynamo down, because I don't have another electric. So I don't want to give him a free prize. I already used my Super Rod too, so there's no way it's ever going to evolve. Yeah, my best option here is probably just to go for Shred, even though I'm going to die next turn. If he gets an energy, which I'm sure he probably will. But it'll give me the time I need to power up my Rayquazas, and then once that happens, I can just Dragon Burst for my last 2 prizes, regardless of what he sends up. My plan here is once this Shiny Rayquaza goes down, I can actually promote the Rayquaza with more energy, and then just Dynamotor to the damaged one once, and that'll be enough damage to take out Empoleon. And then the next turn, I can Dynamotor to the one without damage that has more energy, and I can just Dragon Burst for 180, and it won't matter what he has active. I'll just one-shot anything he's got at that point. So pretty much have the game locked up at this point. Unless he gets his 4th catcher and kills Electric, that would definitely cause me some problems. But even then, I think I'd still be able to pull out the victory, just because I'd have another Shred to be able to use, and then I could Dragon Burst something else if I needed to. So I don't know if he's realized that at this point, though. He's still going for it. We'll have to see how he responds. He still doesn't have an energy. It's possible he could have discarded them all. There we go. I was going to say, I'm kind of surprised if he had that many cards in his hand without an energy. So, yep, here I'm going to promote the powered up Rayquaza. Hopefully. Yes, there we go. That's going to let me just Dynamotor to the other one. And then Dragon Burst for 60. Take out the Empoleon. If I had an N here, that would be great. I should actually play the random receiver here for the N. But I don't think I'm going to do that. That would have been a much better play. Just because I could have, again, taken out his draw power and put him at a small hand. But I don't do that, and it doesn't really matter. Like I said, there's no way for him to win here. now. I guess he could catch her up electric. He can't even kill it, though. Yeah, he's going to catch her up electric and hit it with Rumble, but even that's not going to save him because he needs to take 2 prizes, and after, Stunfisk can't quite one-shot it, so I will be able to Dynamotor that key third energy onto electric, and onto Rayquaza, and then Dragon Burst the next turn, so it's definitely good play on his part. He's got the end too, so I definitely, like I said, I definitely should end him there. I actually top decked the random receiver, which is nice but unnecessary, and I get the electric energy on top of it. So I know that I have a switch left. I know that I have 3 Junipers. The chances of me hitting one of them are very high. I think there is an N left in there too, but really, if I hit the Juniper, it's just going to let me win a turn earlier. It's not like I needed it to win. It's just convenient that I got it. I'm going to be able to get my switch now. But even if I hadn't gotten the random receiver, I still would have won. As soon as he knocked out that electric, he would have just gotten Dragon Bursted for the game. So definitely a really good match, though. Which proves why Stunfisk is seeing play. It's surprisingly good. At least until Landorus EX comes out. And it's my first match with Rayquaza Eels, which actually did not go according to plan at all. I had Electrics knocked out the whole game, but it's still a pretty resilient deck. I was able to hang in there, and thanks to the power of Shiny Rayquaza, stay in the game long enough to stabilize and come back for the victory. So hopefully you guys liked it. Thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment about it. Check out the links in the description, and I'll have more games coming your way shortly. Thanks for watching, guys.